Thank you for all being here today to listen to the Declaration of Independence. It's so important and actually is inspiration for why I'm here. I know you'll be asking, well, what's this average Joe got to do with the future of America? Who is he and what does he want to do? And I can make it real brief for you. I'm here to find out what Americans will do when they answer these questions. What influence does the desire to be reelected over and over have on the American scene? What influence would exist if you took away that desire for reelection and substituted for it a desire to make decisions for the best interests of the country rather than your future reelection? How do you do it? If you had a good basis for doing it, what is required of the people to do it? I would like to know what Americans will do when they think about where our country is going and how it can be fixed. My name is John Cogswell. I live in Colorado. I'm a small town lawyer up there. I was raised on a ranch in western Kansas. I went to college and law school, worked for Bob Dole for 3 years when he was a congressman from Kansas. I spent 3 years in the Marine Corps. I've been reasonably active in Colorado politics most of my adult life. And I have decided in my own mind that what happens to me is unimportant. What is important is what happens to America. And I believe the political bands that are referred to in the Declaration of Independence require modification. And the means for doing that is set forth in the Constitution, Article 5, which says this. It says that if 2/3 of the state legislators ask for a constitutional convention, then Congress has to permit one. And if one is permitted, they can adopt changes that they think are important, and then 3/4 of the states have to approve those changes before they are legally effective. My approach is to have a mock convention in advance so that the request to Congress will be limited to the very subjects that are part of the application so that we do not have a runaway convention. My basic goal is to take away the powers that our elected leaders have to feather their own nest, to give themselves special retirement plans, special pensions, special medical plans. Why is it that they all want to stay in Washington? Why is it that they want to be reelected? Why would they not want to go home? That was the way it was in the old days, but they want to stay there. They want to get recognized. They want to make money off of speeches and books, and they're not representing all of the people. My appeal is bipartisan. Everybody should want better leaders. And when you have people who are influenced by the best interests of the country versus their own best interests, you will have better leaders and you will have better government. I would ask that you look at my website, campaignconstitution.com, and you can vote on the proposals that I have made, which I believe will give us better leaders, which will diminish the influence of ambition and self-interest and the desire for reelection. Ultimately, the gridlock, the polarization, the inability to do anything is a function of everybody pursuing their self-interest in Washington instead of doing what is right. And it is time that we did something about this, and that's why I'm here to make it clear to Americans that there is something that can be done. I'm running only in the state of Iowa. I'm not going anywhere else. What are the chances that a vote in this state is going to pick the next nominee of the Republican Party? Slim to none. Are there not 20 people or more running? But if you vote for me, you will send a message across America. Why would you vote for this guy? Nobody's ever heard of him. He's too old to be president. My goodness. But it would wake them up to the fact that if we don't do something about our country, that long train of abuses will be further neglected. and we will end up printing more money to pay for things that we can't afford. I am not here to talk about public policy. I'm here to talk about process. And my proposals, as you will see, involve process amendments, the way people make decisions. These are things people can agree on because they don't know what's going to happen if you have good leaders. But I'll tell you one thing, they will sit down and they will work things out the way they should, instead of gridlock, kicking the can down the road day after day after day. They don't deal with immigration and the things that are very important right now to our country. And so I'm asking that you take into consideration my candidacy. I'm here solely for the good of America. I don't care what happens to me. I would appreciate your voting on my website, Campaign Constitution. I would like you to vote for me in all polls. I would like you to have your Democrat, your independent voter friends do the same thing. We need to wake up America, and I'm using Iowa for that purpose. Again, John Cogswell, running for president from a little town in Colorado, only in Iowa, open Campaign Constitution, and one of the hardest things I wrote about there is my rewrite of the Declaration of Independence to support the proposed resolution I made. If you open my website and go to proposals, you will see the resolution I have suggested to the states, patterned after the Declaration of Independence, which we have just heard today, and for which we can be thankful, and for which we need to revigorate the spirit that left us free people in order to preserve freedom for our children and grandchildren. Thank you very much.